Hi everyone, I am Prabhat Tiwari. So in today's video, we are going to learn about what are the microservices and what are the principles of the microservices. Okay, and we are also going to say like what are the APIs. So starting about microservices, we have to gain previous knowledge about what was the technologies which was used before microservices. So going on about monolithic architecture which was previously used. Why this microservice was introduced and what was the reason behind that, and how it like created the task so easy to perform, and with what all the things it has converted the whole programming structure. Okay, so overall we are going to like just going to say how it is going to like has performed and what are the reasons behind that. Okay, so first of all, what was the previously used architecture was monolithic architecture. Monolithic. So in the words it is suggesting that monolithic means single. Okay, so if you have heard about that our project structure, which was which was used in previously architectures. So whole system was developed in one single architecture. For example, take an example, you have created a project, and with that project you had implemented all the validations and business logics and other stuffs in the single project. There is no architecture of separating a system into another, like there were nothing like that. Okay, so all you have done is implemented all the services into a single project. So this was the basic what we can say basic idea about monolithic architecture. Okay, so what we have done is what was the reason behind that. We have used microservices. So suppose you want to add some updates, or you want to like change some code, and you want to implement any other uh, things that you want to develop while creating that project. So changing the code or adding new features and creating like a whole new structure is for like it was so hectic that you can't even imagine like a whole system you have to understand first, and what are the main structure of the project. You have to understand that, and just because of that you after that you can implement that code or update it. So this was the main drawback, you can say, like implementing new code to our existing project will be so difficult to understand, and structure is not was proper. So that's the reason why microservice architecture has come into put forth. So in 2008 or 9, like Martin Fowler has introduced like microservice architecture. So what was the microservice architecture? The name it suggests, when you want to develop a project, suppose you are developing a project which includes a number of services. So all you have to do is like separate all the systems in different project. So there is no independence, so there is independency between each of the services, and uh, none of them are like dependent on each other. So like whole services can run independently without any dependency of the previous or next services. So the main advantages of this was uh, you can direct was the disadvantages of the monolithic was converted into advantages of microservices. So all we have done is like implemented all the drawbacks that was in monolithic and implemented in microservice architecture. The main features was it was lightweight. So what was the reason of lightweight? So you can like understand it is using services, single services, which we are developing in our project. So single services is basically, you can understand, like you have created a logic page is different, and validation page is also different, and like a whole system, like front end part is different and database part is different. So all you have done is separated all the services in uh, single part, you can say, like that. Okay, so what are as we have discussed, like we are going to see what are the principles that we are going to see in this video. So any of like it majorly includes like 10 to 12 principles. Uh, so, so we can use 10. Like we are going to see today's 7 or 8 seven principles, seven principles. Okay, so what will it include? So first we are going to see is componentization via services. So componentization via services. So from uh, basically the main role of this this principle is, suppose you are, like we have discussed earlier, you have developed a project. So componentization via services, the name itself suggests that you have to like pack all the services. Okay, so the services which are similar to each other, like you can just use like this all the services, like login. No, login can't be like that. You can choose a service like this is the module part of the login, so you have submitted that system whole other like differently, and you have created a home, or you can say like we are talking about e-commerce website. Okay, so you have created a home page that that services is whole different, and you have created another services of the transaction, you can say payment processing payment services. So like that service is different, and in all that services you can like sub services, you can like divide into that components. So the whole this principle suggests us that if you are developing a whole project and you have same similarities in your project which you have to separate from that system, so what you will do is just simply take that services, like component all the properties which are similar to that, and place it over all different different like service, you can say, like we can also say like projects. You can complete libraries, you can suggest like packing all the, but libraries are not same as services, like that componentization is different from the you can say like services are whole different, and packaging libraries are different. So what was let's just take an example of user services which handles like related all the accounts such as registration, authentication, and all the profile management are in the user services, and like a different part is our payment services, which is different services. So mainly the benefit is to make and like maintaining the code becomes easier, and testing is also become easier. So like we can also say using the single component, like the single component or services, it is like independent from another services. So this was the first principle of our uh, like microservices. Okay. So now we are going to see what is the second services. Second service, second service is loosely you coupling. So loosely coupling, which we can say like if you have services and the services should not be like tightly coupled, like we can say like they do won't be depending upon each other, like it too should run whole services independently. So that service should not be any dependency on second services. So you can say independent of each other, minimizing like a dependency is not there. So loosely coupled, what it allows us to change in our microservices which is required, and we can also integrate and develop all the like you can say all the updating, or you want to maintain the code and like creating any other like services. So with the help of loosely coupling we can implement that. For example, we have like a shipping service. Okay, so should be work independent from the order services. So shipping is not dependent on order services. Okay, so you can just clarify about this. Okay, so the benefit of the loosely coupled will be it reduces the impact of the changes, and it allows the teamwork to develop the services independently without even bothering about what the dependencies of the other project is services there. So like you can develop independently. What the benefit it will do, it will just speed up the process of development of the project. So yes, loosely coupling, this was the second, and the third one is decentralized decentralized governance. So the name it suggests, you can like clearly understand, if you are working in a like teamwork and you have like your team leader is suggesting you, like you have to forcefully like implement this system, and you have to like develop this services using this system only, and this there is no like independency given to the team workers. Like if you are you don't have like whole governance is given to your team leader. So like team members don't have any like what we want to look powers to design and take decisions of this like services. So in microservices, like all of them have the rights to like suggest like if you don't want to develop in this, like what will the best approach to do this, and you don't have to depend on your team leader or like like any other, you can say any of the members who are forcefully doing it. So with the help of decentralized governance, you can simply say no power is given to a single authority of that company. Like whole team has the power to take the decision and implement that what they want to develop. Okay, so this was the main like you can say decentralized. And what are the benefits? Like this allows like microservices to optimize its performance. Obviously if you are if you are developing in what based on everyone is suggesting, with the help of that you can develop it easily. And maintaining of the it unique requirements, like if you all have the, or you definitely will have like like more ideas will become from that. So now what we are going to say is fourth principle. Fourth principle is going to be like decentralized data. Decentralized decentralized database. So as like you can see, like if you have from diagram we will understand what is what was the reason to develop this. Suppose you have a data like A services, B service, and you have C service, and you have only one database. So because of that, like you have like this is the centralized database. Centralized data. Centralized data, and this is our A service. This is our B service, and this is our C service. So just because of like all the services are like in this structure, you can see like if the services are different and whole database is just in the centralized data like main data. So because of not properly like database handling will be so improper, and there will be so difficulties to handle this database because all of the services are like pointing to this single data only. Okay, so what we are going to say in the services. So if you have one data this, and you have service for this only, and if you have uh, data for B services, and you will be also having the services database for B only, and if you have this, so you are going to use database this only. So they are totally independent of each other. Okay, so they are not pointing to one centralized data. Services are independently of what they want to execute. So they are not even with the help of like maintaining the database is also becomes easier, and you don't have to like difficulties in storing and maintaining the data that you want to deploy. So just because of that, like if you want to like test or like QA environment, so like there will be so difficulties in for them to uh, uh, make that possible. So fourth was decentralized database, and fifth service is infrastructure as automation. Infrastructure as infrastructure as automation. So what this means, suppose you are working on like microservice architecture, and you have also maintained and like you have already separated whole the systems services in different parts, and you have also like created a separate database for each of the services. So in this suggestion like deployment of the code will become so what was the reason of in monolithic. So you have like developed a project, so like deployment was only once of the time. So you have deployed it, tested it, and maintaining all was this maintaining and testing was easier for that monolithic. And in microservices, what you did is you have just created all the system separate services. So like deploying all the systems and testing all the services, like it becomes so active to deploying that whole system in whole service one by one. So just because of this fifth principle, what we have did is like we have done all the manual work in doing it automation. And what was the purpose behind that? So if you are manually deploying it and you have not using the tools for deployment, the things will become so uh, uh, like you can say so difficult to like maintain it and deploying it. So what you did is you have to use tools for like DevOps teams are there to deploy it. And just you can this principle, with the help of tools we are going to like deploying it and test using that it it it, uh, it usually improves the like deploying fasting of fast deployment of the services is done. And it reduces the taking time, and it is easier to manage and scaling. So in sixth principle, what we are going to do is smart endpoint and dumb dumb pipes. So for explaining this, what we are going to do, you have to understand. So our principle, for example, each microservices are like this is one microservice, this is one microservice, this is one microservice, and this is the microservice, and this is the microservice. Okay, so if you want to like just communicate, oh, okay, sorry. If you want to like communicate, what we will say, if you want to just communicate a microservice, that I forgot to tell you, with the help of APIs. Okay, the text size is so small. Hmm. Uh, Communication between the two microservices are done with the help of APIs. So what are the APIs? These are the APIs like this is the endpoints from which we are going to call the a microservice, and with the help of that the whole microservice communication will be takes place. And one microservice is going to communicate with another microservices and with the help of this API. So what we are going to see is in SOA principle. So like it was for before it was used. This what was like SOA principle. SOA principle, you can just full form is service oriented architecture. So with the help of like it uses like basically it was used in like you can say previously. So what was that this principle uses pipes. So what was the pipes? You can say bus service pipe. With the help of that, like hold the whole logic. Suppose this is, you can say, and we have created here. Okay, and just name it as service bus. Okay, so what was the main use of this was like communication between the two microservices that was using with the help of this service bus. And in the SOA method model, what was that you have to like whole logics and of implementing that communicating between the two was used with the help of this service bus. And this becomes so hectic, like maintaining this service bus was so difficult. And as if whole logic is logic for the communicating with the two services are used by this. So this was the pipe. So in this principle what you have that you can simply call it as endpoints. What is the starting point? Endpoints. So where was we? Smart endpoints and dumb pipes. Smart endpoints, and this we have done. What this means? So what we have done, uh, we have created like this is the endpoints of a microservices. You can clearly see endpoints, and this all the endpoints of endpoints, we can say like microservices. So we have done like all the logic part, which was like previously, which we were writing in the service bus, was like we are writing here in the endpoints. So with the help of like this has become lightweight, service bus has become lightweight, like all the logic part was written in this services part. So what we have done is like not giving the whole authority to the service bus, only the networking part we have given here. Networking part, which we can say like communication, like you are using with the help of like HTTP protocol you are using for communicating networking concept. So with the help of the only the services bus is given, uh, what we can say, like I had mentioned, networking, so communicating parts. So we have given that only to this services. So the main reason was to make these pipes as dumb as possible, like there is no logic or written over there. All the logic was written in this service only. And like intelligence was not given to these pipes. So as you can say, like we have suppose you are communicating with this, uh, there are two types of communication which you can say, async communication and sync communication. So in async communication, which you can, if you have two microservices and you want to, these are the microservices, and these are two microservices, and they want to communicate with each other. So we have like async. With in async, what we will do is like you have just use a message, like you can say uh, brokers which you are using in async communication. Like if you have, we will use this. You have a system, or you can say tool, which is going to track your call, and it will be providing here, and after that it will going to return you. And all the services which are independent of each other, what this means is like in async communication, all the like uh, call is going to this broker which you can sell tools. You can mention like Kafka is the tool. With the help of that you are going to like message broker tool. You can use it with the help of this, and async communication will take place. This is usually you can implement in like there is no need of urgent passing APIs to these services. So with the help of this we are going to use. And in us sync communication, what is though is like there is no waiting for the response. Like directly one services communicates with the another services, and they are not dependent on any other external tools for communicating. So like in sync communication, what you can say, communication between these two is like not much more faster. In async communication you can say the response between the entities are much more faster than the sync one. So this was the like main uh, communicating part of the services. And in this last one principle, what we have done is like created like smart endpoints and make as strong pipes as possible, so there is no dependency on these services. So in with the help of microservices architecture we can achieve this. And another you can say like in making this whole system as automation services. If you are using main you can say manual work, it is going to be so difficult to maintain it. So this was the total today's session. Thank you.